Okay, I think we'll start this warm-up session for the afternoon panel. So if anyone who's got a computer or a smartphone could go to the address on the slide. So it's polev.com/AdamWhite088. I'm Adam from the WWF European Policy Office, and this is a bit of a kind of a warm-up to get us back engaged after lunch. There's also a QR code on the back of your small conference leaflet. You can use that, and the address is written there if you can't read it on the slide. This is the first time we've done this as well. We've tested it in the office, so hopefully it works. Fingers crossed. Oh, I should do it too. Okay, so if everyone's going to the web address, I'll do that too. It's still written at the top. Okay, I'll give you one more minute and then we'll start off with the questions. Yes, someone voted already. Okay, well, someone's clearly started off, so that's great. So when you put your name in, you should see on your screen the first question, and it's also here, and people are already starting to vote. So you can give your preferred option for the name of these policy processes we've been talking about. I'll use a generic term so that I don't influence the voting. And we'll give it a couple of minutes and then we'll move on. There's 5 questions, so we'll try and get through them in good time. So decarbonization pathways taking a bit of a lead. Give it 10 more seconds for you to answer. Is anyone having trouble getting onto the system? You can also log in for the next question. You won't miss anything particularly. Okay, so I think if we move, so we can see decarbonization pathways is the preferred option. We can move to the next question. At the bottom here. Yeah. Okay, so this is hotly debated, obviously. What should be the EU's long-term greenhouse gas emissions reduction target? And there's at least net zero by 2050. The at least leaves open the option for net negative emissions, which we heard about this morning. That's by 2050. Then obviously the more standard target of 80 to 95%, at least net zero by 2040, and at least 95% by 2050. So the 2050 net zero target is remaining in the lead, but certainly the more ambitious end of things has got strong support in this room. Okay, I think there's a bit of stability in that. Oh, some more ambitious people voting at the last minute. You're right there, Matthias. Okay, so it looks like net zero is clearly a consensus there with, what would it be, like 50, 64%? And it's more a question of the time frame within which that needs to be achieved. So that's a good signal for ambition. Let's move to the next question. So should EU member states develop 2050 strategies using a common template? And the kind of template we're talking about is the one that was put into the governance regulation by the European Parliament rapporteur, which gave an outline for for the kind of mechanisms that should be used, the kind of data that should be used, the kind of sectors that should be covered, and so on. So a common template which would make member state 2050 strategies comparable. Very strong, a clear answer there, I would say. I hope that the Commission is in the room to see that, and also any council representatives, that the Parliament's position gets strong support here. Let's move to the next question. Okay, so for whom are clear national multi-decadal plans for cutting emissions most useful? And there was some debate amongst us to have an all of the above answer, but we assume that too many people would give that answer. So we're kind of pushing you to give a choice. Doesn't mean to say necessarily that it's not useful for the others, but for whom would it be the most useful? So this one's a bit more evenly split. Yeah, still some movement going on. Okay, that seems fairly stable. So, oh, hang on. People are taking their answers out, I think. Okay, well then, as it finishes up, investors is often the most indicated sector, and that seems to be true here. So that's another helpful answer for us. And I think, is there one more question? Yeah, so the final question, what is the most important aspect of national 2050 plans? Is it the targets that they set, the political legal backing that they have, the process that they use to develop it, so the public engagement aspect we heard about, or none of the above, something else completely? Okay, that's another strong signal for the governance regulation, I think, and for national climate and energy plans as well, which we've heard a bit about today. That's everything for now, so I'll hand over to Annika, who's going to moderate the next session. Thank you very much.